It was the end of summer 2001, my last day of work.
I ran into her at least 5 years ago.
I thought I'd stop by this place right here and get a newspaper.
I didn't know that the stories were true about her.
And as I come around here, this lady comes up and starts waving at me like she knows me or something.
Like she didn't look like she was gonna like kill me or anything.
And as I was leaving, this lady, who appeared to be in quite a bit of distress, flagged me down, so I stopped.
I was about to run her over because she like came right in front of me and I was like, what the hell?
It was summertime, I had the windows down and everything, so she just walked in, unlocked my door, opened the door.
Grabbed my door and tried to force her way in the car. And I pressed lock and she actually pulled it out so the lock would break and she jumped in the car. I'm sitting there like...
At which point, she jumped into the car and told me, "You're taking me to Glen Abbey."
And excuse me, he says, can do me a favor to give me a ride up, but by that time she was sitting down and had her seatbelt on.
She comes up here and says she needs a ride. She's got a bum leg. She just needs a ride to the doctor. It's a couple blocks down that way. So I'm like, all right. I get my paper and then I come back here and I give her a ride.
I wasn't going that way, but she would not be convinced, and I thought, well, there's something wrong here.
A friend of mine stopped like at Upper Middle in Trafalgar and she jumped into his truck and she's like, my mother's sick, I need to go to a hospital.
She starts talking about how she's an old lady. She's a poor old lady. She couldn't go around without her leg, and her husband died when she was 40 or something.
She explained to me during the journey that she was the poor dear, that she had no husband and no money for coffee.
Fixing up my husband's grave, right, and I need a ride that my daughter ever found out, blah, blah, blah.
So I'm out here and I'm thinking, there's no doctor's office down this way.
She wouldn't get out of my car. She actually stayed in. I'm like, so I drove back to the police station where in the car and had a cop escort her out of the car.
I said, sorry, no. And I know you and I know what you wanted to do. No. I said, she laughing. I said, you know me? I said, yes.
Not that I know of anyway.
I think I met this lady actually about 2 weeks after I started working at Sheridan College in 1987.
And this lady's like, she'd been arrested so many times and she just keeps on doing it.
I was trying to make conversation with her. She says she's Croatian. That's all I really remember about that, because at that point she starts putting her hand on my thigh.
I've heard that she's propositioned male students, but I don't know if any of that's true.
I told her I'm not comfortable with that. So she says, okay. Takes her hand back.
She was like just sitting there and she complimented on the dude's truck and everything. She's like, oh, this is a nice truck. Like, you got a great vehicle, blah, blah, blah. And then she like reached into his change pocket, took his change without him knowing.
And in my car, I have a little tray of coins for various reasons. She removed them all very quickly and said, I need it for coffee, you don't mind, do you?
And we were just about there, just getting off the highway, when she starts asking me if I can give her any change for a cab fare.
And after a few minutes, she come close to me and look at this for the change, and said, and took the money and said, oh, just for lucky penny. I said, it's not lucky penny and it's not yours to take it. But she said, oh, it's okay, you are a nice woman, and la la la.
I didn't want to give this lady any money. I just gave her a ride out of my time, but still, I felt like a good Samaritan, so I'm just like, no, I'm sorry, I don't have any money, even though I did.
And then she took all his change, I don't know why, and then left. She was like, okay, thank you. And he noticed it like when she was gone, he was like, what the hell happened to my change?
I said, this is as far as I go. I gotta go off here. It was okay, thank you. And she got off and immediately went to the car in front of me and did the same thing, opened the window, opened the door, and went in and sat down.
We pulled into this place, and she looks at me and asks me with her hand sticking out like this, right in front of my face, if I can have any more change, which I already told her I did not.
But she always likes your change. She always takes your money.
I got my wallet and just like, there's nothing in here, nothing in here.
She then opened the glove compartment and rifled that, while I asked her not to do that.
She starts ruffling through all the things, and I'm just like, okay, that's enough.
Finally, I took her to some address in Glen Abbey and dropped her off.
I'm trying to look back out at the highway, and I ask her, how do I get back on this highway? And she's like, oh, easy. And then she just leaves. And you say her name is Crazy Maria?
That's what we call her. Maria is the name that I was told.
Who told you that?
Well, I don't remember, but popular folklore has it that it is Maria, and we have dubbed her Crazy Maria.
And it was about at that point I stopped feeling like a good Samaritan. I felt like I was used and manipulated by some crazy old lady.
We describe her at the college security, we describe her as the crazy lady. Not really questioning her mental capacity, more that it's a crazy thing to do, to stand in the middle of the road and wave like crazy at cars.
Because she catches you by surprise, she usually gets most of the way where she's going anyway. So.
And she probably owns a $500,000 house over there by College Park.
She does this to everyone, I found out.
Not very long ago, she tried to wave me down, which was, I would say, in September, so she's still at it.
She's harmless, I think, for the most part. She just takes advantage of people.
I mean, don't worry, she's not going to pull a gun up on you or anything. She just wants to ride, but I mean, save yourself the hassle. Like, she's not worth your waste of time.
And my policy now is to lock the doors as I drive by.
Keep on going, lock your doors, one window, and drive as fast as you can to the nearest cop station.
I know her, my friends know her, lots of people know her. Everyone in Oakville knows her.
She is an Oakville fixture. Oakville would not be Oakville without Crazy Maria.
That's what we hear.
That's the truth.